hot and fresh out the kitchen, I'm rolling that body, sipping on coke and rum. Now I smell it. This is bringing William in about the heavens of fun. Press the top off and then stress out again.
Oh my God, that
I'm just killing time. Waiting. Okay, so every year, so I've been teaching, this is my 12th year of teaching, and every year I write a song and I try to put people's names in the song.
Awesome.
And not try to, I do. I've had 1 year where I didn't use an attendance list and I left someone off. And I tried to make it got worse, I tried to make up something after that. Obvious that I hadn't really thought of it. So anyway, so this is a song about people in the class, and it's rarely funny outside the class. It's also rarely funny inside the class. But it's all the inside jokes of this class. So even showing it to period 4, they'd only get half the jokes. The guitar playing includes only 3 chords because that's all I feel like playing. None of it rhymes. At some point, I just stop singing, just say it. So that's where we're at. Period 3. I can't believe that we won't meet together anymore. When I look over this class list, I found a common thread that I have something to fear from many of you. If I say something mean about you in my song, instead of rescuing me from a fire, a listen might actually one day throw me into a fire. Or drive a fire truck really slowly if there's a fire in my house. Kayla's got Jesus and Nick can summon storm clouds. So together I'm not really sure that I like my chances. And speaking of superpowers uniting, I assume that if Slaughter and Galvin and the Foot and Hallway send out their gaming nerd bat signal, that their legions would put down their controllers and unite like one big lame Voltron sent here to destroy me. Then again, who am I kidding? Because none of them would put down their controllers in the first place. Plus, Foot couldn't stop talking long enough to quietly sneak up on anyone. And I already have Hallway's address, as do all of us. With Taylor Lee working at a smoke shop, there's a good chance she can pay some people in Marlboro Miles or give them some discontinued K2. And why would I say something bad about Andrina? I wouldn't, because maybe you didn't know that she's in the Latina adaptation of 21 Jump Street called Vente Uno Jump Street. She's actually 27 and her name is Maria. And speaking of Latina Heritage Club, then there's Karina and Ariana, who are looking for a third girl to remake Charlie's Angels. Angels. And I'm not really afraid of those two unless they could actually kill me with kindness, literally. They all seem like really nice people. Unlike Danielle. Because if I say something mean about her in this song, she may turn into her alter ego Randy with an eye. With a name like that, I'm sure I'd get shanked with a switchblade. And of course, I'd never say anything mean about Susie in this song, because we all know her propensity for removing the fingers of living things. Yeah. And I have so much more to say to you that I couldn't keep playing guitar if Susie got mad at me and removed my fingers. And then if Susie got mad, then her little pal Mulan Salazar would be upset too. Which would mean that she'd attack me with her gifted skills, like solving Rubik's Cube and throwing it at me. Or hailing me with her pole vault pole. Either way, I'll be hurt. So. With as many books as Ashley reads, I know that if I made fun of her in this song, she'd probably throw some young adult fiction at me. All those kind of books are good for anyway. Or worse, she'd have Mrs. Plata come find me and yell at me. Or worse than that, she'd have Taylor defend her honor and write a scathing opinion piece on Tiger Tales. But then again, no one reads Tiger Tales anyway. I'm the editor-in-chief. And if Eric didn't like what I said about him, he'd go a week without sanitizing his hands. He'd shake my hand and give me a high five and feed me a meal made from his unsanitized hands. Just to prove his point, but he'd still be smiling, so I wouldn't suspect a thing. And I feel the need to say something bad mad about Nicolette because she ruined all of Disney for a whole class that really seems to like Disney. So I think they'd appreciate it if I threw my guitar at her, but I won't, because I haven't said anything about Tellerico yet. I don't even want to say something about Martha because I feel bad. And Coach Yaklish advised you to take this class with the hope you'd learn something. And my self-esteem is predicated on making people laugh, and you have not found anything I said funny this year. You can imagine how bad I feel after 9 months of not making you smile. And of course, I wouldn't say anything bad about Ariel because she's been on snowball retreats, and the last thing I want is 50 students associated with No Name doing a puppet show telling me how I shouldn't bully her. And if I were mean to Zeke, he'd come hopping at me and probably make me read a book and write a report on it, and then tear up the report in front of me to prove he's a man. I don't know, that's what his dad did. And I'm not that worried about saying something mean to Ito, because with his bad case of senioritis, he'd have trouble mustering the energy to do anything about it anyways. Plus, when he's not being apathetic, he seems like a really nice guy. And if Sammy didn't like what I said, I faced the double trouble of having her dad get mad at me, and he served in Iraq, and I didn't. Or she sent her brother to talk to me every day about running, and I think I'd rather fight a guy from Iraq. Last thing I want to do is offend Alicia, because I love Subway meatball subs or White Castle sliders more than I love many people. So if she ever sabotaged my meals at either of those two places, I'd have to resort to calling her by her Native American name, smells like onions. Emily has her own connections that frighten me away from saying anything bad about her. She's got a NASCAR family and she knows Colonel White. So if I were mean to her, there's a good chance I'm getting run over or punched by Colonel White. Either way, the outlook is not good. Then again, she'd probably turn her complaints about me late, so I'd have time to get out of town anyways. And I think we all know the type of acts Tallarico is capable of. So to protect my family, I'll just be nice to him. I mean, not worried he'll be able to throw a baseball with enough accuracy or speed to hurt me. And I have no fear he'll say something funny that I actually die laughing. So never mind, I can say anything I want about Tallarico.